Goose TV talk show, and we are currently live. My name is Chrissie. I am the founder of magazine.
My name is Chrissie. I'm a student of psychology and student of psychology, and also a student of philosophies.
Hello and welcome. We are live on paranormalmagazine.com, projectreveal.com, Viso, Broadband TV. We're also live on Ghost of Britain YouTube. This is the Ghost Hunting TV talk show, and I'm actually joined with my team, which you don't really see on a live show much. Would you just like to briefly introduce yourself, starting from Chrissie?
Hi, yeah, I'm Chrissie. I'm with the Project Reveal team. I've been investigating with them for quite some years now. I class myself as a sensitive. Yeah, we've known each other for quite a while.
Too long. Go on.
I'm also Lee. I'm also known as Goose as well. I'm sensitive as well. Fairly new to the group, but yeah.
Hi, I'm Charlene. I'm a sensitive, fairly new to the groups. Only started in December. Thank you to Lee for giving me the opportunity to join a fantastic team.
Nice one, yeah. What I always do at the start of every show is I always ask people, have their belief system changed from the last time you was on a live? For you, you wasn't on a live, but since you started the team, I'll get to you later. Has your belief system changed since the last live show?
No. If anything, my belief system has been strengthened by investigating. I feel like my beliefs have developed more. I do find myself more defending stuff that happened, and if something happens, I find myself giving it a more natural explanation than I did previously, because I'm particularly aware of the fact that I don't want.
You've started nicking my role.
Sorry.
Haven't you?
I have a little bit. I want to give things a natural explanation so that when we do get a really good piece of something happening that can't be explained, it builds it that more, it makes it that more relevant because it can't be explained.
Yeah, I think the majority of people need to do that type of stuff, you know. I think you do need to look for logical explanations, because that way you are left with something which you could possibly class evidence, innit?
Yeah. I just think it makes your evidence more relevant.
It does, yeah, and the people who watch these shows, who watch our other shows, know how hardcore we are with the evidence. We scrutinise it down to a pin drop. So, yeah, that's great, Lee. Goose?
Mine's exactly the same. I would like to see more than what I have been seeing in the past year, but exactly the same.
Nice one. Charlene, you've been with the team since December. Has your belief system changed through the investigations, what you've done so far?
Yeah, I'm a bit more sceptical of things. I've come to realise that not everything is paranormal. With my previous group, you know, a lot of what we did was human influenced, and I'm glad that I have moved away from that area, and focusing on investigating and photos and stuff like that, you know. So
When you say human influence, what do you mean? I actually don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean?
So a Ouija board,
I get you.
human pendulum,
more spiritual.
Yeah.
Like,
table tipping, a lot of that stuff we did. But obviously, with you guys, we don't do that kind of thing.
I think the most we'd do is a human pendulum at a push. That's like the maximum. Yeah, I think we would do it on a Ouija board, but I don't think we'd be very interested in it because I don't think it's going to move. And then when we actually tried one, we were there for like 30 minutes, just weren't moving.
We've tried glass work and things like that. Some of us partake in them, and they've never worked, they've never done anything. When we as a team have used them, we've done glass work on more than one occasion and in various different locations. And it's not very often that they actually move when there's just seeing touching them.
So that's that. On the last show, which was a while ago, we actually was looking at videos, which we are going to do yet again on this show. But you was asking questions which we didn't really get to answer. But we have got some questions, some recent questions from our recent activities, because we've been doing a production, Ghost Hunters in the UK, where we just go around filming all other teams and etc. Just curiosity, what do you make of that production? Do you think it's a actual worthwhile show to actually educate people?
I think education's always nice this area is one of those areas that people don't know a lot about, or it's a lot of guesswork, or it's a lot of experience, whereas there's a lot more science to it now. So actually doing a show that teaches people how to investigate accurately has surely got to be a good thing.
What can you take away from the productions, what you've seen?
I think the most powerful aspect of it is that we're all open-minded. It's not a case that us as a team, as a group, forcing our beliefs on other teams or other people. It's a case of them coming to us and asking our opinion. Sometimes our opinion doesn't match with what they expect us to say, but that's the point of it. It's open. It's open to anybody's interpretation. Some believe, some don't.
What can you take away from the two productions and what you've done so far?
I think it's fantastic. A fantastic idea. I think it's just what the paranormal field needs as well. I think it's just shows different groups, different techniques, different beliefs. And as a guest, to attend one of these events, they could then watch it and pick which team they would feel that they'd want to go with. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the main idea behind the actual show is, for me, because my belief system's changed throughout the years, people will know that. And the reason I wanted to do, actually, I'll talk about that later because someone asked a question, well, why? But yes, so I'm going to ask another question, actually. Going to start with Chrissie. What do you aim to get out of being in the paranormal field? And what do you aim for?
Satisfaction. I do it because I enjoy doing it. I do it because there are a lot of people out there that will poo-poo what we do. There's only us that knows that we don't fake anything. Yeah. There's a huge amount of trust within the team. Yeah. I enjoy spending time with my friends. I enjoy spending time with my husband as part of the team. I like to be able to talk about the experiences that we've had and to try and get that piece of information that nobody can explain.
Goose?
Yeah, I think the advantage is that it's nothing is staged. What we do is literally there and live. Some places we've been to a couple of times, some places we've not been to before. It's not something you can fake. It's people say it could be this, it could be that. That's fine. That's what the group is for interpreting other people's point of view. When you go to places, me as a sensitive, we don't do any research on the place before we go. We've nothing to gain by saying we haven't when we have. It just doesn't prove anything. So we like to go in a little bit blind and see what we pick up on, and then it's up to other people to say, well, that could be such, that could be that. That's the point of it. That's other people's perception.
Just expanding on that a little bit, for me, it's about learning more about myself and developing myself as well. With the
mediumist.
Yeah, learning more about what I can do.
Yep. So, like, what do you aim to get out of it though?
I think a lot of it is to actually disprove some of the fake groups that are around and saying that certain places are really, really haunted. And then just going to that particular place and seeing whether it is, seeing what I pick up on. And if it's totally different to the other group, then that's what people are saying, is that it's up to that particular group on how they work. Some groups do the Ouija boards, the glass deviation and various other things. But it is open to human pushing, moving things yourselves. Exactly. But what I want to get out of it is to be able to categorically say that place has presence, that place doesn't. Proof.
Cool.
Proof.
Charlene, what do you aim to get out of being in a paranormal team?
Evidence, real evidence of the paranormal world. Whatever you capture, people are going to criticise. That's fine. You take that with the field. But if you've captured something and you know to yourself that is true, then that's amazing. And yeah, that's what I take away from it.
Yeah.
Yep. Tim EP sent us a question which we've kind of already answered, really. What have you learnt from doing the productions? I don't think we've said what we've learnt. What have I learnt from doing a production? To be honest, I don't think I've learnt much, but I've learnt that everyone has different opinions, beliefs, methods of investigation, and the main thing what interests me is how different everyone is. Everyone's got a different belief system. Like every team we've come across, they've all done something different. They've all had a different way, and it's like, wow. Like, a lot of people out there will think that they'll watch the TV shows and they will go, oh well, it's just going to be all the same wherever you go. It's actually not. It actually makes a huge difference on who you go with and who you choose to go on a ghost hunt with. What have you learned?
During the production, like you say, we've worked with different teams. We've seen how different teams work. We take away from those investigations what we want to take away from them. You know, there's been some methods that we've used that we haven't used before, we wouldn't have known about had we not have worked with other teams. At the same time, we see some of the negative points of other teams and think, right, okay, we know we need to make sure that we definitely do that. But at the same time, we take away the positive things as well and learn by them and utilise them ourselves during our own investigations.
Goose, what have you learned?
I think a lot of it is patience, to be quite honest, with other groups. Some groups do the table tipping and carrying tables from room to room on tips of the fingers. Not for me. But
Yeah,
it's patience and giving them the respect that's how they do it. And
let's talk about that actually. People out there who pay to go on ghost hunts, they expect activity. The majority of people do expect to see something, to expect to talk to someone, to talk to a loved one, etc. And that's possibly one of the main reasons why people choose to go on a ghost hunt, because they've lost someone, so they go to a ghost hunt to try and communicate with someone through an Ouija board, through table tipping, and through meeting different teams and stuff. Yeah, we have found people who have done the Ouija board all night, you know, and that's like, no, just don't do it. If I paid money to do that, I'd be very, very mad, but not everyone is like that. People find that fascinating. There's a lot of public who can actually sit there with their fingers on the glass, and they can sit there for hours talking to someone who they may believe is someone who may not be, you know. But
yeah, I think I've been to investigations where people have been and they've communicated with loved ones, and as lovely as that would be, if you were hoping to speak to somebody, that's fantastic. But then at the same time, you have to consider, right, okay, there's not just one person paying for the investigation. There may be 10 people, or there may be 50 people, but there's only one person getting anything out of that. I suppose to some degree, the others may be thinking, well, actually, this is evidence. For me, if I was paying money to go on an investigation, I wouldn't be expecting to talk to people that I know or have known. That's what I go to church for. You know, that's what the spiritualist churches are for. I don't want to go. If I'm going on an investigation, I'm there to investigate the place. I'm not there to investigate the relatives of the people that are there.
yeah, I believe it's mainly your younger generation who go there to speak to relatives. Your older generation, like middle age from like 25 upwards, they will go because they've got an interest in, you know, if they actually want to know if there's something out there. But the younger generation go to actually speak to a loved one. Well, not everyone, but I would say the majority of people would.
I think we've been on investigations before where, as we're walking around and we're trying to pick up on people that are there, we've incidentally come across somebody who was a relative of the person who owned the building, say, for example, on one occasion. And I was able to spend 5 minutes verifying who this person was to the person we were with, but then quite respectfully said to her, I'm sorry, but what I'm going to actually do is ask this person to just move back a little bit, so because I'm not here to do a private reading, I'm here to investigate the building.
Yeah, you've done that quite a few times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, love, but I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's the wrong reason.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, acknowledge it's happening. You need to stop now because that's not my way.
Exactly, yeah, and I respect that. Charlene, what have you learnt from the productions so far, if anything?
Like what you said, everyone has a different way of going about, just the different techniques used. It really, really interests me. And you know, you can go from, I've only been on 2, haven't I? So not as much as you guys have, but from the 2 that I've been from one belief system completely to the other side of the belief system. It was interesting.
Different.
It was very different, yeah.
Next question is from James. As a team, do you have arguments?
We don't argue really as such. We debate.
That's the word.
As people will know from our investigations and from viewing over the years, we all have different beliefs. One person may say one thing, one person may say another, and it's about respecting each other's opinions. And as a general rule, we tend to. There have been members who used to be with us and who aren't anymore. As a general rule, the people that aren't with us anymore tend to not be with us because life's taken a more important role. They've sort of said, right, I need to step back, I can't really do this at the moment. Majority of people leave for personal reasons, not because we've had any sort of big row or any big debate.
Like the majority of people have always left on good terms. I don't think no one has left on bad terms, really. I can't really think of anyone who's left on bad terms.
No, I think the thing, and I've already said it, I investigate with a group of friends.
Exactly, yeah. That's what we are.
Yeah. Ultimately, friends. I don't think you can't do the work that we do without trusting each other and without spending a hell of a lot of time with each other to develop that trust. And with trust comes friendship. So at the end of the day, as any other friend would, we have arguments, but we don't really argue. We debate.
We've never had arguments.
No,
never.
We respect each other's opinion too much.
Yeah, and like from being a skeptic to a believer to a sensitive, the people will actually know that me and you do actually cross paths a lot on the actual films.
We do, but we debate and we have a laugh while we're doing it.
Yeah.
But then ultimately, let's just agree to disagree, because on these occasions, our friendship is more important than what we're actually doing.
Exactly, and we're both like that. We both go, okay, I respect that, and then we just leave it.
We do. We laugh. We generally laugh about it.
Lee, have you ever argued?
Well, actually, I don't like them. I always get picked on. I just stand there and I never move, and everybody, you just stop moving. I'm just sitting here. And I always get picked on. It's usually because of my hair. No,
Vanessa.
The two is team.
Yeah.
Team. Simple as. We don't fall out. It's everybody. We're very evenly matched. We've got 3 skeptics.
2.
I thought we've got 3. Well, you've got you, Dave. Wayne.
I wouldn't say he's a skeptic.
Wayne
wasn't one point. Sorry, Wayne.
Wayne doesn't want to be.
Yes. Further call, Wayne. No.
People fall over and some people get lost and stuff like that. So yeah, we're a team.
Wayne again. Getting lost.
We do have occasions where we go, do you know what? It's really annoying because we're human, but at the same time,
That's usually about it.
Yeah. Charlene, have you ever argued with any of us?
No.
Uh,
We've had some debates about things,
yeah, we have.
but we've never argued.
No.
Oh no. You went to a particular coffee shop and didn't buy me one.
Yes.
So I'm looking at
The cost of
Not sponsoring any particular coffee shop.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. Next question is from Jane. And she says, have you ever classed a place as haunted? If so, why? So this is a question for every one of us. I will wait till last.
No.
Really? What?
No.
What? Am I hearing this?
No.
A sensitive saying no.
No. I could. What would you classify?
Right.
As
If
haunted? It depends what your opinion of haunted is.
If you believe there is ghosts there, if you believe that yes, this place is definitely haunted.
But if that's the case, then almost every building on the planet is going to be haunted, because in my opinion, it doesn't matter where you go, there is potential for...
The cogs are going in my head now.
They are. There is the potential for something spiritual happening. If you think of how long people have been on this planet and how many people have got to have passed while this planet has been as it is, everywhere could potentially be haunted.
And even with, like, if you've got a new building on a piece of land,
Yeah, there's got to have been
which
things
got no
there before.
history regarding that building, but that land in which that building stands on can still be haunted.
Yeah,
but not
Got
necessarily.
a question for you.
Go on.
What is haunted?
This is what I'm saying. What is haunted? You can. People go and go.
Let me tell you what it is in my opinion, and then you can answer that question.
Go on.
Haunted, in my opinion, would be where there is definitely activity of a ghost present.
Right.
Have you ever seen a place what's haunted?
Where stuff's happened.
Hmm.
We've been in all different places, but I've never ever once turned around and said this building is haunted.
So let me ask you another question. Do ghosts exist?
In my personal opinion, yes. But that
You can see where I'm going with this, can you? So ghosts exist, yeah?
Yes.
And I've ever come across one on an investigation.
Yes.
So there would be activity.
There would be activity.
So it would be haunted.
It would be.
But you just said it's not.
No. The question you asked was, have I ever been to a place and said that it was haunted? No, I haven't ever.
I'm going to leave that. Go on, Goose. Before we get into a deeper argument here. Actually, a deeper debate. A deeper debate. Forgot the question. Yeah. Goose, go on.
I'm really yes, I have. Yes. It was a certain place.
Yeah.
Which would be the cage.
Definitely haunted.
Because the instruments were going off, which obviously is on our YouTube video. The instruments were going off not on demand of on answering the questions, but as we were asking, we got activity on this from the scientific point of view. I'd never been to the place before. I picked up on a few things. One of the things wasn't even made public.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
I'm not going to say that.
You can say it.
Which was the guy who lived in the house before hung himself at the top of the stairs. That wasn't made public. But
Also,
I picked up on that straight away. I could see the guy hanging, and also underground. I felt as though I got hands around my ankles, as though there was something underground. And I think that was actually confirmed by the lady of the house, and said more or less where the hanging was at the top of the stairs, and that's where I sat for a while.
Yeah. Before you, it looked like you wanted to speak then, but I think thing to bear in mind for the people watching is that everyone has a different structure of what could convince them of paranormal activity, of ghosts, of the ghost realm, or whatever. So every one of us will have a different, what's the word I'm looking for?
Interpretation of activity.
Yeah. So did you want to carry on to what you said?
No.
It looked like you wanted to.
No, it's when you say we had equipment going off. We did have equipment going off, but there was some question over whether some of the equipment that was going off was reliable. Some of it was rhythmic, some of it was continuous, and at one point we had one piece of equipment that was going off that frequently and in that much of a frequent order that we just left it and it was going off all night.
Let me jump into Lee's defence now,
Yeah.
which is something that I don't do much. I think for you, I think the reason why you're classing it as haunted is because of your spiritual belief system of what you picked up, what you had confirmed. For you, that is evidence that, this place has activity. Would you agree or not?
Yeah, I can understand what Chris is saying about the instruments and the equipment, but if you look at it a different way, that's just backing up more or less what I said. I didn't know any history of the building.
Yeah.
And I do remember Vanessa, and I'm not sure if Chrissie was the same, where it was I don't like it in there. I don't like it in there.
Yeah.
Whereas I went up the stairs and sat at the top of the stairs, and that's where the guy hung himself, and that's where I felt the strongest. But we also had the sonic microphone that
Yeah.
Chrissie was listening to, and
EVP.
could,
Yes.
and it was so not only the equipment, but to me some people would use the equipment and then get the sensitives to back up the equipment. I would do the sensitives and get the equipment to back up what I was saying.
Yeah.
But it could have been rhythmic, but the sound that Chrissie picked up on the mic wasn't.
Yeah.
I must admit,
It was.
it was like you could hear a conversation.
Yeah.
Like-
You could. You could. It was, and this is it. It's like the equipment we used. You know, there was one piece of equipment that we had to dismiss because
Which was the typhometer.
exactly. And that's what I was talking about when we say we had stuff going off on the equipment. Some of the equipment had to be dismissed because we had to give it a natural explanation. There was other equipment that was backing up what we were saying. On a spiritual level, that same venue, personally, there was lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, it was a crazy night.
Yeah.
In some sense.
It was. I think that's another few places where I had sort of physical.
Yeah. Another thing to bear in mind for the people watching as well is that we are not actually saying certain piece of equipment isn't working. We are just saying our belief on it. So we are not saying it's a load of baloney. We are just saying this is what I think.
It's open to interpretation.
Exactly. Yeah. Charlene, have you ever classed a place as haunted? If so, why?
Yeah.
Where and why? Be nice.
Okay, what would I define as haunted?
Okay, go on.
Where a spirit will stay in that location, and not go out with it, them forward.
Yeah.
Okay. The other week at Strelion, yeah, that I came back from that and I thought, yeah, that place is haunted. One, just because of what I was picking up, and two, with what we caught on camera and through an echo box, which I've been using, just convinced it for me.
Yeah.
And backed up what I was feeling.
Yeah.
And what Dave heard down the tunnels.
Yep. Which you won't admit much.
No, I mean you actually really sensitive to your safety.
Yeah, it really did bother me.
Yeah.
And I've never been quite as I've been. There's only been one other place that has scared me, but not quite as much as that one. That was that, and I really didn't expect that from that location whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just goes to show that you can't really think on location
No.
and go, yeah, I'm going to definitely experience something. You never know what you're going to walk into.
No.
And I really did expect the very least from that location, because I'd even said on the group message that I had, and then to go.
And that happened, yeah.
Yeah,
What actually scared you?
the day after, to be honest.
Really?
More so, yeah, because of the EVPs that I was getting
Right.
on the video.
So reviewing the
Oh,
footage.
Scared me more
than actually being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of it you actually pick up when you're looking
Reviewing
back
it.
in it.
But these was not from the echo box. This was just pure EVP.
Right.
Which did quite bother me going back home and then watching it, and I thought, oh,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely class that one as being honoured.
Okay, I'm
To
not going
me.
to question you. I'm not going to question your next. We're going to talk about that later.
Can I just
Go on.
butt in quickly?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to talk
This
about
is
that
why
later.
you've put off the subject.
I see. Okay.
I've excited to talk about
This is
later.
the debate.
Because I know that it's going to be aimed at me eventually somehow, so I might as well say it. But yeah, next question is from Glenn. Do you feel the equipment is getting better as the years go by for paranormal research? Yeah, again, I'm going to wait till last.
I think there's a lot of equipment that is being invented for other purposes that are that can be used within paranormal investigations, such as the KT things like that. You know, they weren't created to do what we do. They were created for other reasons. So there's a lot more equipment. There's always stuff being invented for other purposes that are actually utilised by investigative teams. At the same time, this area is actually getting bigger. It's becoming more popular. People are looking more and more at paranormal, at the paranormal area. And therefore there is a higher market, a bigger market out there for equipment to be used solely for paranormal investigation.
Market.
Yeah.
I usually like to try and just trust my instincts, to be quite honest, and use the scientific equipment as a backup, as a confirmation of what I'm feeling, by physically and mentally asking for something to trigger one of the machines. I don't such as wait for the machines to go off first and then say, oh, there's something. I like to do it the other way around. But I'm not a big fan of the equipment. I do like the obvious, if that can work with what I'm thinking and feeling and get that to confirm. The static meters, as you just said, there's quite a few things that can trigger them off. You have to do the base readings first before you rely on them, to be honest.
But there's more available out there to use.
There's all sorts, isn't there? All sorts.
Yeah.
But
Charlene, do you think the equipment's getting better?
Just like Goose, really. The equipment that I do use, it's just for confirmation for me, really.
For yourself.
Yeah. And if you can pick up on something, say it out, and that piece of equipment can confirm that for you, then you know
you can go a little bit deeper, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If all night it's not been going off at all, and all of a sudden you're feeling something, you say, well, come on then, move closer to that, and it goes off.
Yeah. If it's
and move, and then it's same with anything. If a piece of equipment goes off, you time it, you count in your head and see if there is something setting it off on a regular basis. If for some reason it's going off sporadically, then there's something, in my opinion.
Yeah, my turn. So I think the equipment's getting better. What do you guys think I'm going to say?
Technology's getting better.
I don't think it is.
Do you know?
Right,
I think we have been at a standstill for quite a few years now. I believe we are seeing stuff rebranded, renamed, things merged together. So we're getting a KT meter mixed with a static meter. We're getting echo voxers, which is similar to a Franks box, but it doesn't scan radio waves, which I prefer that. We're getting temperature meters with geophones. We're just seeing a mixture of stuff getting combined. I see nothing new. I really don't see nothing new in the field at all. I think we're reaching a standstill where we've used everything we can possibly use. You know, there's you can go in your house and you can look around and you can possibly use a lot of things what you see for a Goose, like a kettle for like steam, like stuff for a pendulum. You can use anything. You don't need all this fancy equipment. But a problem what I get is a problem what I see is people trying to make that rebranding stuff, making a profit on something which you can make for about £5, what they sell for like £60. And why are you looking up there? It's bugging me.
I'm sorry. While we're sat here, there's lights flickering, there's noises being made, there's banging. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted.
It's definitely not Goose.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of.
Don't listen to them. Yeah, so I believe that the equipment is that.
I'm trying to be discreet. Okay, like.
Just faulty electrics.
That's been turning on and off.
This is a very old building. And it is built on an existing building.
There you go, it's back on now.
I'm not giving too much away.
Yeah.
But it's not as you would turn your lights off from downstairs because he's promised me that he won't.
But we know that we're not supposed to be investigating here. So
No, we're
let's-
not.
let's
We're not
crack on.
investigating.
We're not investigating.
At the Victory Club down on Sheffield. I'm going to get a free drink.
I like the live EVP.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of the live EVP. It's one of those, I like to use it because you can hear what the naked ear doesn't hear, but at the same time, you'd absolutely poo your pants if you heard something really, really, really bad, such as like somebody all of a sudden. I've had personal experience before I was investigating where I could hear things that other people couldn't. I was having a conversation with somebody and I heard somebody screaming down the telephone and I was straight away went, oh my goodness, what was that? And they're like, what was what? Like, how can you not have heard that? So live EVP, you run that risk of having that little earphone in your ear and risking something big happening.
Sometimes you can regret listening.
Yeah, you can.
Lee?
My piece of
One piece.
equipment, oh Jesus Christ.
Just one.
For me, I think for what I really need is actually I want you to guess what I'm going to say.
You like Echo Box?
Tri-field meter.
No. Echo Box?
Is it not the Echo Box?
I don't, are you seriously thinking to choose the Echo Box? No. Pareidolia.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Pareidolia, where
I started something.
pareidolia. If you look at clouds, you can make patterns out of the clouds. You can make sharks, bunny rabbits, and etc. It's same with sounds. If you are having a sound, your brain is naturally designed to try to make sense out of something which doesn't make sense. So
Yes, but
Isn't that what we're doing as a whole?
But with the Echo Box, okay, yes, you can do that. But what it's about the
it's 3 against 1. This.
clear
Go on.
sound that you hear. So, for instance, you say Karen, and the Echo Box says Karen.
Sounds like that.
No, but it don't sound like
It does. It does sound like it to me.
Yeah, but your brain's not picking out them words and making it. It's a full word.
How can you be sure of that though?
Well,
And what we usually do
If
at
I
the end of
said-
the,
if I
end of the
said
show
Karen-
is we have a mass flight. Yes.
Go on, because I know you wanted to say something else, and then I will answer.
Charlene.
mine. My Echo Box.
It actually is.
Mine will be the thermal camera
Why?
because there are quite a few differences in images and temperatures, especially when there's been one person stood there, and then all of a sudden you've got another shape that's there and gone.
I'd say one of the most impressive pieces of evidence has been through the thermal imager.
Furbeck.
That little house where you and Nikki picked up
Fireplace.
the temperature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
No, actually,
Well,
I was thinking of something that I watched on TV that we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
actually do. I'm not thinking of something personal, actually. I'm actually talking about something I saw on TV before. That for me was the biggest piece of
Drakelow tunnels was brilliant for the
evidence.
thermal. Drakelow tunnels was really, really good.
To some degree, though, the thermal imager didn't capture what happened at Furbeck.
Yeah.
It was the temperature gauge picked up a snippet of it right at the very end, and it would have been absolutely fantastic if that had been available from start to finish.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about the Echobox stuff because it's similar to a Frank's box. You are not sending radio waves as such, and with a Frank's box you will get human sounds which you could piece together to make a word. It's the same with the Echobox, I think. I think it's the same principle. It's like the Ovulus, but obviously it's not in the same context because every word is chopped up. I must admit, it's harder for me to explain. I am not saying it doesn't talk to ghosts. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I need more from it.
I think you have to
at
consider
this
that
point.
the Frank's box is picking up a radio station.
Frank's box, I don't trust one bit. I
Well,
would.
this is it.
I
I mean,
wouldn't.
the thing is, we've been on an investigation in little villages, and there's names coming up that are relevant to that village. But you're right, you're picking up radio waves in the village that where it is, so you're gonna get local names coming up, because of the area and the station is related to the place where we are.
Yeah, and I think I'd respect that. And with the Echo Box, I must admit, it has said some good stuff. It has sounded to say some good stuff. Where it says rape over and over. Now this is my problem. Now I do not fully trust. Sorry, the developers. I don't know them.
No.
I don't know if they programmed it to do that. I don't know if it's meant to do that. The only way I would 100% trust it is if I made it. So I know that, this is not being influenced to actually say words. Does that make sense?
I think if you went to another building where rape wasn't relevant and rape
Came out.
kept coming up, that would verify your argument. But
I've never had it come up.
No, and time will only tell whether we actually have it come up again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong, because say everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and what you're saying, I agree with.
Yeah, I must admit, I do entertain the Echo Box.
Yeah,
I want people to use it because it's a tool which I believe people might find interesting. I want everyone watching to just chuck your Frank's box in the bin and use the Echo Box. I really do. Just use the Echo Box, because I think it's just a better tool. It's order for me to debunk, and we're going to talk about that again later on the Spirit Seeker. Go on.
When you say you don't trust the makers, anyone that does get the Echo Box, if you have any questions, he is free to message at any time of the day.
Actually, I take that back. I don't know the makers to make that judgment. But
I've been messaging him all week about it, and he's on hand for anyone. But I know what you're saying. You don't trust because you haven't made it personally, which
I don't know the person.
And you don't know what's been put into it.
Yeah.
But
it's a valid argument.
But if anyone does decide to get it, he will help you with it.
I must admit, people have always said that they have looked into the device and they have looked into the word banks of the device. But yet again, I don't see the evidence of this. It's people's word. I've got to take their word for it. And I must admit, out of all the Android apps out there, I would only entertain the Echo Box. That's the only one I would entertain. So, you've got to feel privileged for me to say that because I don't like apps full stop. Laser grid.
The sensors that you can put across.
Beam barriers. Yeah. My piece of equipment, what I would use, for me, it's about capturing evidence to back up what I see. So mine's got to be a camera. I need a camera watching what I do. That way, if I see something, I've got a pair of eyes there to go look at that. That is what I saw. But again, I know what you're going to say.
Again, it's open to interpretation.
Yeah. Depends what you see, what you experience.
And we've all experienced on particular television programs where something moves, but the camera's not at an angle wide enough to see everybody's hands or the table legs or things like this, so that the video camera can be manipulated.
And it's definitely based on personal.
Exactly, No matter what you see on YouTube, including myself, I will never believe a YouTube video. I will never believe a TV show. I just can't do it. I need to be there. I need to experience it. So even if I capture something, I know full well that not everyone's going to believe it, because there's always going to be, I need to be there. And I respect that because I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I can't fault it. Next question by Anonymous. Lee, you work with mediums a lot. Do you think they are full of it? First of all, do you want to set out about mediums before I say what I think about what you lot do?
I don't.
I think you're entitled to your own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. We've had talk where you've actually turned around to me and gone, do you know what? I think you're talking rubbish. Do you know what? That's fine. Because I know what my beliefs are and you know what your beliefs are. But again, it goes back to the perspective.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the main thing. We do respect each other. Like, we don't really argue. We have debates, and that is it. We all walk away friends at the end of the night.
I think there are
except for Lee. except for Goose.
There are occasions where, as mediums, we've been able to produce information that Again, it boils down to trust. I'm quite fortunate that my husband is one of the team, and he knows that I don't look into the places that we go to. Again, we've been together long enough for him to know what I know about and what I don't. And there's been occasions where I've come up with words or information that he's gone, do you know what? I know you don't know what that means. And he knows that it's not a word that I would use. I have come up with some information. Again, Goose has come up with information. Paul's come up with information that wasn't publicly known about.
Let me actually, this is a good question, and I respect the person who actually asked it, because it's a good question to ask to a skeptic who works with mediums. And the question's worded funny. It's putting me on the spot. It's wanting me to say that you're all full of, but I'm not going to say that, because I really don't believe that. I don't believe you are full of it. I believe that you are talking to ghosts. That's what my belief is. I really do believe that you are convinced, that you've convinced yourself that you are talking to the spirit world, and that is fine by me. You have your own different opinion. You believe that in your own mind that you are talking to them. In my opinion, I think that you've convinced yourself that you can do that. So I'm not saying that you are full of it. So the answer is no. I actually don't think they are lying. I really do think that they are picturing these images, and I really do think that they believe it's from the spirit world. So
personally have seen one of us, not necessarily one of us, has come up with information on a particular location that they could not possibly have known.
Fancy dress shop. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. That was the best piece of psychic evidence I've ever seen.
Considering as well the person that came up
second
with
best.
The person that was coming up with the evidence actually isn't an established medium or an established sensitive, and herself was only 14 years old.
Your daughter. Yeah, she did shock me on that night, because that is something which she could have thrown it out, but I know for a fact, I know for a fact she wouldn't. She just wouldn't. I just know.
And it was my first time there as well, so it's not even as if I could give her any information.
The information was spot on. It was like, wow. But yeah, again, if there was an actual, if there actually was someone there, I've lost track of what I was saying.
I think the thing is, yes, you are skeptic, but you're open-minded. You're not willing to. You are, such as on that occasion where my daughter was able to give you information that she couldn't possibly have known about. You are quite open enough to say, okay, I can't explain that.
Yeah. And I actually said that.
Yeah, you did.
That's the best piece of evidence. But I've seen a. What was the question?
It was, are we full of rubbish?
Do
you think mediums are full of, and I'm not even looking at it, because this chap here is a skeptic, same as you. It makes me wonder, because would you have a paranormal team if you didn't have a medium with you? Who would argue the case with the skeptics?
But then,
would you just put everything down to being scientifically proved?
But then you've got teams that are full of skeptics, but then you've got teams that are full of mediums. It balances it.
Well, this is the advantage with our team, isn't it? Because we're evenly matched.
Yeah. We're
evenly matched.
Well, I suppose if you're watching this program right now, it doesn't appear to be, because bless him, Lee's on his own, the skeptic tonight.
It's just got back up like that.
It's just got back up.
Yeah,
but, it's see, as a team, we don't force it down anybody's throat. We don't. this is why we put the investigations on the YouTube for people to comment on. Some comments are just, oh, it's that's fine. That's their opinion.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about. Is no cut and dried.
Yeah.
If it was cut and dried and proved, we won't be sat here now discussing it.
As a skeptic, I do respect mediums. Yes, I have come across some who I 100% know will have been lying. I can just tell. But I have come across certain ones who do like, yeah, you know, and I respect them. I don't believe that they are talking to the other side. I don't believe they are talking to the ghost world. I just believe that they have got a way, a method of reading someone's subconscious mind, someone's personal. Just by looking at someone's hand, you can tell about what they work. You can get a sense of image just from looking at someone. So there's cold reading. That is what is that it's called. And I do believe a lot of mediums do that. I do believe that they cold read people. So, and then once you start to cold read people, they actually start to give more off. They start to twitch and answer your questions subconsciously.
By the same reckoning, though, I've done readings where you don't know the person you're reading. You've just been given an item, and you've got to read this item and give as much information as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And you can't see the person that you actually read. We've done back-to-back readings where you've no idea who the person behind you is, but you've got to give the information that you're actually being given. And a lot of the time, it's accurate. For me and you, when I started investigating, although I'd had personal experience, I wasn't communicating with spirit. So mine and your relationship, you've seen me develop from not knowing anything.
I've seen you develop a lot.
Yeah. So you know I'm not full of shit.
Well, yeah, I actually don't believe. I actually believe like every person sat here is convinced. You are convinced that you can talk to the other side. You are. Yeah, and you are.
I believe the other side have the ability to communicate with us.
And I respect that. I totally respect that. And I hope that answers your question. It's probably not the answer what you wanted me to say, because I'm not going to say that the whole of it, because I generally do believe that they are thinking that. I really do think that you think that. There's
also a lot of bad press out there that are exposed false mediums. So it's a case of the old tarring us with the same brush. That's the danger that we have. I mean, I've seen people come to the local church that I'm a member of, and they come in as skeptic, and they go out in tears because the mediums have said things to them that only they know. And it's a lot. I understand what you're saying. A lot of mediums ask questions. You shouldn't ask questions. You should tell what you're getting. They're fishing. They're getting. You said to an old lady who sat in church, is your mum and dad in spirit? Well, if they're not, she'd be 300 years old.
I mean, we've done it before, where we've kind of gone, right, hang on a minute, is this, and then we've gone, right, now, okay, either make a statement or don't. But
it's like the question, do you know somebody called George? Nearly everybody knows somebody called George. You should say, you know somebody called George, he lives near you, and you should be telling them before they've got a chance to ask you and feed you. You should be telling them straight away.
At the same time, I've talked to people who have said, I've had people come to my house and they've given me this information and they've told me this and this. We had a young lady not so long ago who was told that she needed to move out of the house because it was not safe for her to be there. That's foreign to me. You know, part of my role is to ensure her safety and to make her comfortable in her own home. I've had people say to me, oh, I could do with you coming to my house. The question is, really, do you want to know what's there, and how are you going to feel afterwards?
Not many people think of that.
No, and I've got friends who have said, I'd love for you to come to my house, and I haven't been, because ultimately the question is, do you want to know?
Do you want to add on to how you believe, what your belief system is with your mediumistic side of things? Are you fully convinced yourself? I'm talking to Charlene.
Yeah, I'm not as strong as Chrissie and Goose, I would say. Mine comes in waves, I believe.
It all does. It all does. I wouldn't say I was particularly strong. I have periods where nothing happens and nothing works. It's not about being stronger. It's about working. It's about how you work. Don't compare yourself to other people because everybody
Do you know
works
what-
in a different
Do
way.
you know what I think it comes down to? Believing in yourself.
Yeah.
If you truly believe in yourself, then that's when you start to work better. Like, that's what I notice
Yeah.
as a skeptic. That's what I see.
It's about having faith in what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which I think I lack.
Okay. Next question. David said, "You are against TV shows, Lee. So why are you producing one?"
Are you against productions? Or are you against TV shows? Or are you against TV shows that make stuff up?
I'm against TV shows.
But all together.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't watch them. I used to watch them. I used to watch something, MH. I've not said it. And I used to watch an American show.
Yeah.
And basically, I've seen them teams shows fake. There's evidence clearly out there where they have been caught red-handed. Clearly caught. That makes me more skeptical of the TV shows. I can understand why they do that, because they need people to tune in. They need to entertain. It's an entertainment show. They actually say that at the start, entertainment purposes, which, you know, we had Steve Parsons on the show from the actual TV show we're talking about, and he actually said the reason it was created was for advertisement space. And that just says it all for me. You know, they are creating an entertainment show for people to advertise on. But yeah, I am against shows because I don't believe there's not one show out there what is big time. All your major shows, big time shows, I believe every single one has staged. Every single one. Every single one.
Yeah.
Big time.
There's
Big time ones.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's some very well-known programs that have been proved to have been faking. By the same reckoning, there's an American one that I'm particularly a fan of. I haven't seen for ages, but I'm a fan of them because they work in the same way as we do.
I need to watch what I'm saying because I've got him on the show. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, there's a particular program that I watch and I enjoy watching because I've seen them debunk the places that are faking. We've been to in places where the faked stuff happening, and this particular team have found the stuff that's been faked and they've debunked and straight away gone, right, okay, everything we get now is just not, there's not going to be any point. By the same reckoning, the most impressive piece of evidence for me was taken by that team.
Yeah.
And if they do get anything happen, they try and debunk it. They work in the same way as we do, and that's why I enjoy them.
Before I talk about this question more, your view on TV shows?
I don't really watch any of them, to be quite honest.
You don't need to answer it if you don't watch it.
I don't really watch any of them, but I watch them if there's nothing else on, and that might sound strange from a sensitive point of view.
Actually, it might sound strange.
I had a lot of respect for the one Colin Fry, who recently passed away. I did have a lot of respect for him because he was just the medium. He wasn't on a show. He wasn't ghost hunting. He just did what he did. And then I did have a lot of respect for him, and he brought comfort to a lot of people in the audience who
needed
it. It just fell when, as soon as he started to talk to somebody and they started crying. Same at my local church, when the mediums get up and they bring comfort to somebody straight away. That's not fate, not at all. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. Charlene, TV shows?
I've watched them, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes just...
Do you believe it?
No. Like I said, I have watched them just to look at the places, see what happens there when they're there.
See if we can get in any.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
But no, don't believe them.
Yeah, I'm going to talk more about the TV shows, and we're going to show 2 videos because we are running out of time badly. We have run out of time, actually. We've done overtime. So yeah, basically TV shows, I believe they've got a purpose. I believe they're there to sell advertisement space. It was confirmed by someone who works in the actual, well, who used to work in the show. And yeah, I can't trust it. And the reason why I'm doing one is it's not to really show ghosts exist because I don't believe they exist. For me, it's because I've lost faith. I've lost faith in the field. I've lost faith in shows. I want to do a show what literally shows every show, which shows every team, which shows the public out there what it really is. Because you are watching something catered for your entertainment. You are not watching a ghost investigation. You are watching entertainment show.
You just said at the beginning, didn't you?
Yeah, but people don't realise that.
Yeah.
People go to, yet again, ghost hunts, they pay money, they go away disappointed. A lot of them do, because they watch the TV shows. They go, oh, something's going to happen. We've got this team, they're right good.
Our show's investigation. We show investigations.
Yeah.
We're not there about the entertainment. We're
No.
not there to impress people.
Mm.
We're not there for personal gain. We're there to show how people are investigating.
Yeah. And the main reason, the main reason is for education. That's the main reason I'm doing it. I want to educate even ourselves, even me. I want to educate everyone watching, everyone taking part in the actual show, because you can learn stuff. You can take away stuff from watching the actual shows, from actual watching other people work. Yes, we may come across a team who seems similar to other teams, which you would probably associate with the fakes. But if we do ever catch a fake, I promise you this, I will say it out loud that it has been faked. I will literally say, yes, this is what we captured. This is what they do.
Yeah.
Now, I am scared as well because I'm the producer of the show, and people might think that I'm directing this, but I'm not. I am not directing this show. The director really is the team, the team of investigators who we are filming. They are the directors of the show, because we film them. It's purely their night. We film them. Whatever they pick up on is purely down to them. Do you want to add on to that, Lee?
Yeah, it's what Lee said. We're a team with nothing to hide. What you see is what you get. We do take criticism as long as it's constructive. If you're going to start putting stupid comments on, like, oh, it's all false and whatever, then you'll either just get blocked or deleted. We will listen to people's opinions as long as it's constructive. If you're going to be childish and make silly comments, then that's your way. But what you see is what you get. That's it.
Can you see the reason why I'm producing this show?
Yeah, to draw away from the entertainment purposes, to just show what it really is like when investigating to the public, just so they're aware and they don't go to these events with massive expectations of what might happen, like chairs flying around, being pushed down the stairs, stuff like that. You know, they need to go, if they're going to pay £50 for a ghost hunt, need to go with what the expectation is.
Yeah.
A lot of local churches, you pay £1 to go in.
Yeah.
You pay £1, and if you don't get a message, you don't get a message. If you're going down with the intention that you want, and it doesn't always work like that. You can't just go, oh, it's crap. If somebody come through and get you some numbers and you want lottery, you'd be a believer. If you didn't, it's rubbish. So you've got to be open. You've got to be open.
Yeah.
If you got numbers for everybody from lottery, from loved ones, churches would be packed. Unfortunately, they're not. And that's £1. You're not paying £40 going ghost investigating. It's £1 to go in church surrounded by pure mediums. Simple as.
Moving on.
Yep.
Charlene, you've been actually taking videos from people from like five years ago and etc. And we've been uploading them to the YouTube channel, which is Goose, which we're currently on now. What we're going to do is we're going to watch a small video from a team who I know very well, Three Girls in the Dark. Great bunch of people. We're going to watch the video and we're going to debate it. This will be interesting. Put on video, but I am. Basically, what you're seeing on the on your screens right now is Three Girls in the Dark. I'm just going to describe what they have encountered. The camera is shaking. On the largest camera, it's shaking. Well, every other camera is absolutely still. So, what could that be? We had a good debate about this on the actual Facebook, which went on for quite a while. And basically, it's not something I can definitely give an answer for, because my natural explanation is an earthquake, and they battered me basically for saying that. Yeah. But I'm still going to stick by that. It depends. Yeah, it depends on how stable the house is. It depends on the structure of the house. I don't know the structure. I don't know what the walls are made of. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I do not know about it.
I have to say, having had a discussion not so long back with Dave about the same scenario where somebody experienced movement of ornaments on a surface area, and my husband was asking about train lines, and I said, well, surely if the train lines were strong enough to be able to vibrate the ornaments, you'd feel it. And not necessarily. The floor's concrete and the vibration travels upwards, so therefore you'd experience more vibration up in the bedrooms than you would downstairs. So I guess that might offer a natural explanation. However, that shook quite vividly, so I'm not sure exactly.
What do you make of it? Like, bear in mind, I have a lot of respect for this team, actually. The leader of the team, Emily, she is a skeptic. She's a skeptic who will argue to the death. Yeah. And if she was on the show, she'd be arguing like mad with me right now. But yeah, I don't believe it's evidence of ghosts, personally. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was clear enough to actually pinpoint it. Yeah. I probably need a little bit more. Yeah. More info as to what was around the house, what was the floor made of. Was it just in that room? Have they experienced vibration before?
Yeah. So those
more be there to be actually there. I think
you uploaded the video, Charlene. What do you make about it? In your personal opinion?
I think it's paranormal. Personally, I've got much respect for the team. Three Girls in the Dark. I've spoken to them on numerous posts. I don't think they would fake anything.
I don't think they would either.
And they are quite logical in the way that they think as well. Yeah. And I don't know them personally, but I would assume that they'd look at absolutely everything to try and debunk it, and for him not to be able to debunk it, to me, says to me that that was something paranormal.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the next video. This is an interesting one. The Anguished Man. Let's watch it. Yet again, this is an alleged haunted painting. This is the painting in shot. It has been moved about a lot. We might be seeing this painting.
Yeah. When can I just
Yeah.
say, because it's probably had a bit of criticism because it's just someone moving across the camera.
Mm.
Now, when I opened this email, which was sent 5 years ago,
Yeah.
Lee had booked on the Sunday with a team that have got this photo, this picture. But I'd opened the email on the Monday. I was in two minds whether or not to post it, and I thought, no, I'll post it. Heard about this painting, but not thought any more of it. Posted it, and it was confirmed that the group that we are filming also have this painting.
Yeah.
Which was just really bizarre because
Tell me about the actual email.
it wasn't theirs. It was somebody from previous.
Apparently, you said that I could have had it.
Yeah. If
I read
it could
the
have
email.
rented it out.
Yeah.
People actually rent this picture out.
Okay. Go on.
Why?
It's alleged. Oh, yeah. This is actually painted in someone's blood.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Allegedly, yeah. And it's meant to be haunted by this particular person, and it has been moved about. It's changed owners quite a lot.
The previous owner had emailed you.
Yeah. Oh, we're not filming.
Yeah. We're not filming.
We're filming a different team.
So
but you'd booked it on the Sunday as I'd posted it on the Monday.
yeah, so you got an email from somebody saying we've got this
5 years
picture,
ago.
and it was 5-year-old email. You're like, right, okay, let's post this. And as it happened, after that, they said, hang on a minute, we're investigating with another team who now have that picture.
And
We weren't 100% sure.
we
Yeah.
wasn't. I uploaded the video to YouTube, and the lady that works
Maxine.
in the team says, yeah, this painting is a really interesting painting, and we was like, it's the same painting, isn't it? She'd not let on until
She showed a picture of the painting in the cellar and other stuff. It's going to be an interesting night. Like, it's going to be something completely different, completely unique, what we've never done. So I'm interested to actually meeting the actual painting.
And the people that have seen the painting would say that would be paranormal.
Yeah.
For anybody who probably hasn't seen the painting would say, no, it's just somebody going past the camera.
Which is logical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bear in mind that that's sped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
There is numerous other videos online of this painting. That's not just
it's a famous painting.
He filmed it every night, basically. And between certain hours of the night, it would do stuff like that.
John,
like people would move, or it would make that awful noise.
the picture would move by itself.
Yeah,
apparently.
all sorts.
John Blackshaw, something like that. So I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but someone called John who's working with Maxine for Enigma experiments. They have this painting, and he had a good conversation with me, and he was telling me some really bizarre stuff about this picture. And they want to target me, so I'm just looking forward to what happens.
Well, don't tell us anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. We're not going to discuss the activity on that because it's yet again it's another YouTube video. We don't know the person who uploaded it. Could it have been to sell it on? I don't know. I really do not know. But that's down to your own opinion. Fastly, this one is a mental asylum. We might have seen this one before, I can't remember, but we'll have a nosy. Someone at the bottom just like peeps his head around, goes back in. Right, let's talk about it while it's actually playing to speed up time. Chrissie, what do you make? It's light.
If you look in the background, you've got the light source there, but you've also got some light in the shadows behind it. If you look at the top one, as it comes out, as it disappears, behind it, look, there is some light in the darkness. As it disappears, there's another flash there.
So, yeah, again, you know, you are not saying this is not a ghost or is a ghost.
No,
you
I'm
really
not.
do not know.
No, I don't.
You're just pointing out a fact.
My interpretation is that there's light in the distance.
Fair dues. Lee, you know, what do you make of the image in question?
I think it could be something that because the light is head height.
A spirit.
Like an apparition because to me it looks head height. From the distance away, the height of the light, I suppose if it was just a light anomaly, it just seems strange that it's at head height.
What about the second one?
It's the same image.
No, afterwards it comes down
at
at the bottom.
Right.
So it comes out at the top there, but then comes out again at the bottom.
To me, it just looks like a full-bodied person stood in the doorway, then kind of goes back but comes back and then comes back in a light form. That's why it interests me to post it. None of us know if it is, or the only people that know if is them that's captured it, to be honest.
Again, you don't know if there was somebody in that room.
Exactly.
We just don't know, do we?
But yeah, again, you know, if people send through videos, we are gonna look through them. Well, Charlene's gonna look through them and gonna post them up so we can debate them and stuff like that on these shows. We're not gonna watch all of this. We're just gonna watch the start and the ending, about just roughly around the action. No, we're just gonna watch the start actually. Because I do not know the precise time of the ending where the camera turns off. Listen closely.
It's interesting.
I forget who it's from.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, very,
you?
very vividly.
Let's talk about that. I'm not gonna talk first actually. Charlene, what do you make of that?
Well, I know how I felt down there with what the Echo Box was saying, and then when I went home to review it and was getting EVPs before I'd even put the Echo Box on.
Well, she messaged me and she's like, Lee, you are not going to believe this.
The miss.
At the beginning of the video, I was just about to ask
There's a mist at the end as well.
Where were you when that mist was happening? Because I mean, initially I dismissed that as
Right,
being
right.
your breath.
Let me tell you this. Look me in the eye. That is not my breath.
Right. Okay.
Trust me. If I would
No,
know.
I do trust you.
Yeah.
As I say, I because it had not been pointed out in the video, I dismissed it as something natural.
Let's
so.
relook at it.
And at the end.
Yeah. Do you know the time?
It's right at the end.
See, that looks like somebody walked past the camera.
Yeah, right. At that precise point, I was sat down and I was, yeah, which
Because
was.
initially I wondered whether
Yeah.
it was your light because I didn't know what you
Yeah.
were doing.
I am 100% sure I had my mouth shut. I was trying to position the camera, and my face was not there or there or there. You know, I was quite a distance away.
And it was cold down there.
Yeah, and I saw the mist. I really do know that I was not had my mouth open. I didn't have my mouth open, and the moment I had my mouth open, you can hear it because that's a mist just went right past you. The mist went past. Then I opened my mouth because I was like, that did stump me a bit because I was like, that's not my breath. What is it?
What is it?
And then we have them EVPs. Very faint. I don't hear the yeah. I don't hear. I heard that get out.
You need headphones.
I don't hear that. Yeah. But yeah, headphones do. Yeah, like it does actually give you a lot more. But I definitely hear that you have children. I definitely hear that low tone voice. You have children, and I think that's the most convincing. Well, the second most convincing thing for me because I don't know if it was the Echo Box. I really don't know.
Yeah, but that's produced a full sentence.
I know that's what's stumping me.
Yeah.
I know
Which
the
it
Echo Box doesn't do
shouldn't.
that. It says like it doesn't do that.
Again, it's of interest.
It is of interest, yeah. It is of interest, and towards the end,
Yeah.
the camera turns itself off for no reason at all.
Yeah. The other thing to bear in mind in that place, there is no dust. It's damp. It's moist. The floors are wet.
Yeah, that's the main mist in it, or does it happen
I think it
again?
happens again because you say.
No, I was not breathing. I
No.
100% know I was not breathing at that point. I had my mouth shut.
And as I say, the thing to bear in mind is there are actually puddles on the floor. The floor was wet. It wasn't dusty. It was damp. It was cold. So it can't have been dust.
Yeah, so that's the video. I'm not going to say what I think about it. I'm going to leave it to people's own opinion. Actually, yeah, I think I will. So.
How did you feel when you were finally?
To be honest with you, I was a bit on edge. I was pretty, I don't know the word, I had a bit of fear in me. I really thought this is strange because I didn't hear the EVPs at the start. You heard that when you got back home.
We
But
did hear a woman speak. Is who's
off,
coming out.
yeah, which we've not documented on the camera.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, the
I have to say, when I went down there with Dave and Paul, I'm not generally scared, and I don't particularly like being last, but I'm not too fussed about being first. As we got to the top of the stairs to go down there, I was like, I'm not going first, I'm not going last, I am going to be in between you two. And the entire time I was down there, at one point, Paul tried to get in front of me, and I was really like, no, you need to go behind me. I really felt like I needed to be protected either side.
yeah, it was a good investigation. I think, does it convince me of a paranormal world? Not at this stage, not yet. It is good. It's good evidence for the people watching out there. Will hopefully believe that, you know, we don't stage anything. It does make me scratch my head. It does, because it's not something I can explain, and just because I can't explain it, I'm not willing to jump the fence and say, yes, this is a ghost. It's something I can't explain. It's something paranormal, which I cannot explain. So that's as far as what I'm going to say about it. Do you lot want to grill me more on this topic?
I think it'd be nice for the viewers if somebody has an explanation or can offer a logical explanation. That would be really nice.
I must admit, I did try to offer one, didn't I?
It did go to the actual extreme. What was that then?
It was the Echovox vibrating in the speakers of the camera, which created an echo, which malfunctioned the voice recording.
Maybe not.
But it could be possible.
There's a lot of things that could be possible.
The mist. I don't believe that is a ghost in my opinion. I believe that is condensation. I believe, to me, I got to take it at face value. What do I see? I see a mist.
Yeah.
I don't see a ghost. I see a fog, a mist.
Which is what I saw, which is why initially I'd said I thought it was your breath, because I didn't know. Viewing that, and as with every other video, it's open to interpretation. You don't know where other people are. So when I first saw that, straight away I was like, oh yeah, that's Lee's breath. But having spoken to you now, I can't explain that.
If I was to look at that video, and if I was to go back there and relive that moment, what I would do differently is I would try to talk to that mist. I would try to get it to do something on command, where I'm like, oh, if that is you, can you actually do that again? Can you actually come in front of the camera again and show yourself in the exact same way? Then that would start to stack on top of me, because I'd be like, oh, what am I seeing? I would start to think that I'm interacting with something intelligent, something which can communicate with us. And we're going to wrap it up now, ladies and gents. I'd like to thank you for watching on Ghosts of Britain YouTube channel, projectreveal.com, paranormalmagazine.com, Broadband TV, Get Scared TV, and Viso. The next show will be on the 13th of March with Dustin Parry from Ghost Hunters International. As always, I will be a respectful skeptic with the guy. I'm sure that we will have a nice talk, a nice little discussion about certain activities. So until next time, it's a good night from me. Goodbye, everyone.